Hello everyone, and welcome to the entire Mortal Kombat story. Now, little caveat, not the entire story. This is the modern day story of the MK9 soft reboot to Mortal Kombat 11. I'm making this video to help people who don't know the story for Mortal Kombat 1 coming out, because I am super excited, and I want others to be able to experience the story with any references it has, which it's going to have references. But without further ado, let's get into this. The story begins with the aftermath of the Battle of Armageddon, as you're seeing, where nearly all of the combatants have been killed. Only 2 combatants are shown to have survived: the Thunder God, Raiden, and the Emperor of Outworld, Shao Kahn. Kahn had his powers increased by killing Blaze, and is currently engaged in a fight with Raiden, where he easily gains the upper hand and taunts the Thunder God, destroying his medallion in the process. Realizing the battle is lost, Raiden gathers up the shattered pieces of his medallion and sends a cryptic message to his past self, including the words,
"He must win."
Moments before Shao Kahn delivers a killing blow on him. Raiden's message, alongside a series of mental images, as you're seeing, travels back in time to the events of the first Mortal Kombat tournament covered in the series, held on Shang Tsung's island. The Raiden of the past not only senses these visions, but also notices the amulet is cracked. He thinks nothing of it at first, as the tournament is beginning. Sonya, Kano, and Johnny meet, which moves on to Sonya's chapter. Sonya and Johnny find Jax locked away by Shang Tsung, and Sonya, demanding him to be freed, is forced to compete and fight Sub-Zero, which I will now refer to as Bihan, because another Sub-Zero pops up later, and this is easier to differentiate them. After Sonya defeats Bihan, Raiden appears and receives yet another vision, this time of Liu Kang defeating Shang Tsung. Believing this means something, Raiden tries to prevent Sonya from attacking Shang. However, aids in their escape by blinding everyone else with lightning, and Sonya and Jax nearly escape before their chopper is shot down. Raiden then tells the group that he has been receiving visions from the future, about Armageddon, and believes they must work to avert this tragedy, starting by winning the tournament. Sonya, Johnny, and Jax all agree to work with Raiden. The next day, the Revenant Scorpion is summoned from the Netherrealm to fight in the tournament. He expresses a desire to battle Sub-Zero. Raiden, having a sense of vision that if a Scorpion kills Sub-Zero, a more dangerous threat will emerge, speaks to Scorpion and pleads with him to spare Sub-Zero's life, on the condition that he will ask the Elder Gods to resurrect the Shiryu. If he does, I butchered that. Scorpion reluctantly accepts this agreement. Not long after, Sub-Zero shows up and taunts Scorpion, who responds by dragging him to the Netherrealm, where they engage in combat. Sub-Zero is defeated in the end, but Scorpion honors his agreement with Raiden and spares his life. Quan Chi, however, shows him images of the Lin Kuei's destruction of the Shiryu, including one of Sub-Zero murdering his wife and child. Sub-Zero pleads with Scorpion for mercy and tells him the visions are fake, but Scorpion removes his mask in a fit of rage and proceeds to kill Sub-Zero. A distraught Scorpion later returns with Sub-Zero's charred skull and spine, and leaves soon afterward. Raiden then speaks to Sub-Zero's former friend, Cyrax, who vows to make Scorpion pay. In the discussion, Raiden asks Cyrax about the Cyber Initiative. Angered, Cyrax fights Sector later, and defeats him in the process, and declares that he is done with the Lin Kuei.
No one leaves the Lin Kuei.
Watching the fight between Liu Kang and Ermac, Kitana tells Shang Tsung that she will ensure Liu Kang doesn't reach the final challenge. While training for the next fight in the courtyard, Liu Kang and Raiden discuss the Thunder God's visions more, especially the sentence of, "He must win," believing that he refers to Liu Kang. Raiden further encourages him. Later, Liu Kang is ambushed by Kitana, but manages to defeat her. When Kitana asks him to kill her, Liu Kang spares her life. Instead, he remarks that they truly had no encounter, and expresses a desire to meet her under more favorable circumstances. With this victories, Liu Kang faces off against his last opponent, Shang Tsung himself. As Raiden foresaw, Liu Kang bests the sorcerer, who concedes and handing the victory to Earthrealm. The Outworld warriors, along with Kano, leave through a portal, with Kitana taking a last lingering look before departing. Raiden and the other Earthrealm forces congratulate Liu Kang on his victory, But to Raiden's surprise, his amulet cracks further. Back in Outworld, to order to save himself from being executed, the sorcerer quickly makes a new proposition to Shao Kahn. Raiden is confused as to why his amulet is still cracked. Raiden then takes a notice of a revitalized Shang Tsung, where the sorcerer proposes an offer from the Emperor. He proposes a single tournament, replacing the original system of 10, and tells Raiden if Earthrealm wins the tournament, Shao Kahn will forever have to abandon his claim to Earthrealm. However, should Outworld win, Shao Kahn will be allowed to merge Earthrealm with Outworld.
Tournament to replace the current system of 10.
After quite a while, Raiden selects Kung Lao in his place for the tournament. Lao manages to defeat Shang Tsung and Quan Chi in 2-on-1 combat. Kintaro then makes his way to the battlefield, but Lao defeats him as well. Celebrating his victory, an unaware Lao is then killed by Shao Kahn from behind by snapping his neck. An enraged Liu Kang, having already freed Kitana, challenges the Emperor to combat and defeats him by punching through his chest, seemingly killing him. Liu Kang is declared the winner of the tournament, and as they mourn Kung Lao, Raiden concludes that Liu Kang was meant to win after all, and that Shao Kahn was the one he was supposed to defeat. Despite this, Raiden's amulet cracks even further, with Raiden feeling more desperate. There was a little bit of a time jump there, but not much pertinent had happened. Back in Shao Kahn's throne room, his minions discuss who should take his place. With the aid of Quan Chi's sorcery, however, Shao Kahn survives his injuries. Quan Chi also makes a new proposal to him, a direct invasion of Earthrealm. This by itself is not possible due to the wards that the Queen of Edenia, Sindel, set upon Earthrealm when she committed suicide. Quan Chi is able to overcome this by resurrecting her, imbuing her with a full loyalty to the Emperor. With the wards broken, Outworld begins a full-scale invasion of Earthrealm, overwhelming its conventional military forces.
This is not happening.
Now this next scene is probably one of the most infamous scenes in all of Mortal Kombat's story, including every other game. And it's after they were ambushed by Lin Kuei cyborgs. Kitana senses her mother is coming. Suddenly Sindel appears, and that she will finish what the Lin Kuei can't. Nightwolf tells his team to attack Sindel, but they are overwhelmed by a newly empowered Sindel. She single-handedly kills Cabal, Stryker, Sub-Zero, Jax, Smoke, and Jade, and severely injures Nightwolf, Johnny Cage, Sonya, and Kitana. Before Sindel can finish off her own daughter, Nightwolf challenges her to a duel. Nightwolf emerges victorious over Sindel, but this victory is short-lived, as Sindel quickly overpowers him again. Meanwhile, Raiden and Liu Kang try to convince the Elder Gods to intervene, but the Elder Gods refuse, stating that Shao Kahn has not broken any rules, and that invasion of another realm by itself is not a violation. Having achieved nothing, Raiden and Liu Kang return to Earthrealm, just in time to witness Nightwolf sacrificing himself to kill Sindel. Sonya and Johnny manage to recover, but Kitana succumbs to her injuries and dies in Liu Kang's arms. The now desperate Raiden decides to form an alliance with Quan Chi, but is forced to go alone after grieving Liu Kang, who is disillusioned with Raiden and believes him to have gone mad. Refuses to come along. Confronts Quan Chi, offering him the souls of all the fallen warriors, including his own, in exchange for his cooperation. However, Raiden soon realizes that Quan Chi has already obtained all the souls of the Earthrealm casualties: Kung Lao, Smoke, Sub-Zero, Jax, Kitana, Nightwolf, Jade, Cabal, Sindel, and Stryker, as part of his deal with Shao Kahn, and sets them on Raiden. Raiden beats Jax, Stryker, Cabal, Kitana, Nightwolf, and Kung Lao. After the fights, the brief discussion with Quan Chi reveals to Raiden that he must win, in fact refers to Shao Kahn, if he is allowed to merge Earthrealm and Outworld without 10 consecutive victories in Mortal Kombat.
They must! Only through Mortal Kombat may Shao Kahn merge the realms, lest he face the judgment of the Elder Gods. Lest he face the judgment of the Elder Gods. He must win.
It is you who face judgment, Raiden.
Thank you, Quan Chi. I now know what must be done.
He will have violated the rules set by the Elder Gods and be punished. Raiden quickly returns to Earthrealm to find that the merger is nearly complete. He explains to Liu Kang that they must allow Shao Kahn to merge the realms. But Liu Kang does not believe this and tries to attack Shao Kahn prematurely, forcing Raiden to fight him. Liu Kang, infuriated by Raiden's actions, attempts to kill him, but Raiden creates a shield of electricity in defense. Unfortunately, when Liu Kang's fiery fist makes contact, it inadvertently causes a backlash, electrifying and burning the Shaolin warrior at the same time, much to Raiden's horror. Raiden begs Liu Kang to forgive him, who replies,
Liu Kang, forgive me.
You have killed us all.
before succumbing to his wounds. Cage and Sonya show up and attempt to defeat Shao Kahn together, but are quickly incapacitated. Raiden, realizing there is nothing more he can do to stop Shao Kahn, surrenders himself. Shao Kahn beats Raiden into submission in the same way his future self did. But before he can land the killing blow, the Elder Gods possess Raiden's body, and fused with their power, Raiden battles and defeats Shao Kahn. Earthrealm then is returned to normal, and the cracks in Raiden's amulet disappear, signaling that he has, at long last, prevented Armageddon, which is the divergent part in this timeline compared to the original Mortal Kombat games. After grieving over the massive casualties in the aftermath, Raiden decides to help restore Earthrealm, and teleports himself, Cage, Sonya, and Liu Kang's corpses away. Later, Quan Chi is revealed to have been acting on the orders of his master, the fallen Elder God Shinnok, the whole time. With both Earthrealm and the Outworld severely weakened and a collection of powerful revenants, Shinnok declares that he will soon be free, and that both realms will be theirs, foreshadowing events that would take place 25 years later. As for MKX, not a lot happened in this game I view as wholly important. And all you need to know is a few characters, and I'll summarize it for you right now. Like Jax, Scorpion, and Sub-Zero spend time as revenants, and are then brought back. Alongside this, Shinnok is fighting to get the power of the Jinsei and his amulet. Johnny and Cassie find out about their ancestral power, the glow green gambit as I like to call it, and Devora does Devora things, killing Baraka and Melina. In the end, Cassie defeats Shinnok and discovers her powers just like her father, and for the most part, happily ever after. Except Raiden becomes Dark Raiden at the end and threatens Revenant Liu Kang and Kitana that are currently leaders of the Netherrealm. Besides that, and the beheading of Shinnok, that's how he threatens the Revenant Liu Kang Kitana, and shows that he will lash out on all realms that he deems a threat, essentially, which we will see in the next game. Everything besides that, not super important, in my opinion, especially for the next game. So let's get right into it.
The truth I embrace, Shinnok, is that mercy is wasted on those who defile Earthrealm. I will destroy our enemies before they destroy us, starting with you.
So, MK11. Sometime after Shinnok's defeat at the hands of Cassie Cage, as said earlier, Raiden is seen torturing the fallen Elder God in the damaged Jinsei chamber, now with a darker persona due to the Jinsei's corruption and use of Shinnok's amulet, announces to Shinnok that he will no longer have mercy and will destroy Earthrealm's enemies before they can attack the realm. Dark Raiden threatens him, saying that he will be the first. Shinnok reminds him that he cannot be killed, since he is an Elder God. Raiden decapitates Shinnok and informs the severed yet still living head of Shinnok that he will deliver him to Liu Kang in the Netherrealm as a warning, and teleports away. After he teleports away, it shows Kronika appearing before the decapitated head of Shinnok. She approaches and tells Shinnok that the arc of the universe bends at her will, and that it is only a matter of time. Tired of Earthrealm's defiance, Kronika will bring order to the universe through any means necessary. Dark Raiden arrives at a military facility containing Cassie, Sonya, and Johnny to inform the Special Forces that Liu Kang and Kitana are planning to invade Earthrealm. In order to stop them, the Earthrealm needs to assault Netherrealm's main cathedral. Unfortunately, during the assault, Sonya gets trapped, and after ordering Cassie and the Special Forces to flee back to Earthrealm, Sonya activates the charges that detonate and destroy the cathedral, killing her. As Liu Kang and Katana contemplate their next move, Kronika appears before the Netherrealm King and Queen to request an alliance, stating her goal to restart history and create a new era, one without Raiden. But when our characters have all returned back, Kronika activates a sort of time merger. As you can see, most characters from the past, from the original Mortal Kombat tournament, appear. And alongside that, a very strange thing occurs where Raiden is actually banished and disappears, leaving just his amulet. And Kotal was about to execute Collector, but just before he can, Kronika begins changing time just like earlier, causing time quakes in the present. As I said, Johnny, Cassie, and Jackie entered as their younger versions. During the Outworld timequake, Collector breaks free from his bondage, and along with Kotal, encounters the past versions of Scarlet, Aaron Black, Baraka, Kano, Shao Kahn, Liu Kang, Katana, Kung Lao, Jade, and Raiden. Shao Kahn is surprised that Kotal is the new Khan of Outworld, to which Kotal explains he became Khan by right after Melina's and Shao Kahn's deaths. D'Vorah arrives to rescue Shao Kahn's forces, and Collector bringing them to her hive. Kotal and Raiden agree to work together and solve this temporal crisis, while both Katana and Jade stay in the Outworld to aid Kotal. Raiden and Liu Kang and Kung Lao then get into Earthrealm to learn more about their tragic future. And funny enough, D'Vorah brags about killing Melina, and later Kronika recruits them all. After Raiden and the Shaolin monks learn about their tragic past, they begin lamenting about their, dark futures. Liu Kang decides to continue to put his faith in Raiden, but Kung Lao definitely begins feeling very skeptical, as Kung Lao tends to be. After a few fights, they fight Geras, and Geras freezes them temporarily in place. Then Kronika appears, and although Geras states that it would be dangerous to let them live, Kronika states that keeping them alive, as if they die, their revenant counterparts would cease to exist.
Yet again, Liu Kang, you've chosen the wrong destiny.
Sub-Zero, as we see, is in a quarry monitoring the recently reactivated Cyber Lin Kuei factory. After some fights, including Sector Unenslaved, Cyrax manages to get into the Cyber Lin Kuei servers and informs Sub-Zero that he can disable the factory, but begs Sub-Zero not to bring him back as a cyborg. Sub-Zero reassures Cyrax that whether he is a machine or a man, he has a warrior spirit, and as long as Sub-Zero is Grandmaster, he will be welcome to the Lin Kuei. Cyrax then destroys the main power source of the factory, which disables himself and the rest of the Cyber Lin Kuei. A little later, to add on to Kronika's army, she recruits the present-day Jax to her side, with promises to help his image and the way he wanted his daughter to go. After raiding D'Vorah's hive and learning of Shao Kahn and the Tarkatan's location, later they finally capture a lot of the Tarkatans, and as Kotal and the Oshtek warriors prepare to execute the Tarkatans, Jade steps in. Knowing how far he may go, she defeats Kotal before they are both captured by Shao Kahn. As Raiden meets with the Elder Gods, he realizes all of them are gone with the exception of one, the goddess of virtue, Cetrion, who essentially taunts Raiden. She reveals that Kronika is her mother, and Shinnok her brother. Kronika's plan is then revealed. She intends to restart time so as to restore balance between darkness, Shinnok, and light, Cetrion, which can only be maintained if the realms fight each other. However, as Dark Raiden decapitated Shinnok, the balance was damaged, which has prompted Kronika's desire to remove Raiden from the picture. After an attack, the Special Forces have no choice but to watch as the Black Dragon leave with the past Sonya and Johnny in their clutches. Fortunately, Cassie places a tracker on their aircraft just as it flies away. However, though, their troubles are not over, as Kano had fitted Sector with a bomb, which he activates during his exit. They are saved by the timely arrival of Raiden, however, who teleports them to the Shirai Ryu Fire Garden, seconds before the explosion. The younger Liu Kang asks Raiden to send him and the younger Kung Lao back to Outworld and reunite with younger Katana. Katana being instructed to seek out and recruit Shiva, as her armies would prove useful to assist Kotal against Shao Kahn. However, Kitana, Liu Kang, and Kung Lao must first confront Baraka, whose Tarkatan warriors are claimed by Shiva as a necessary requirement for her to join their cause. After saving Jade from Scarlet and convincing Baraka to join her, Kitana, along with her new allies, invade the Colosseum, stopping Kotal Khan's execution. Kitana then fights Shao Kahn. She manages to defeat him and slashes his face with her fan, blinding him. Due to his serious injuries from his fight against Shao Kahn, Kotal Khan relinquishes his title to Kitana as the new Khan of Outworld. Cassie manages to bust both young Sonya and Johnny out of the Black Dragon Fight Club, and later, after defeating the younger Kano, Sonya is confronted again by the older Kano, who holds Johnny hostage. He reminds her that it's a 2-for-1 deal, that he should should he kill Johnny, Cassie will be gone as well. Sonya thanks him for reminding her of the rules, and pulls out a pistol before shooting the younger Kano in the other eye, killing him instantly. With his younger counterpart's death, the older Kano also gets the same wound on his eye, and his past self had before he vanishes into sand moments later. Later, Kronika tells them that Raiden's allies fighting Shao Kahn and Kano has bought her precious time to finish off her work at Shang Tsung's island. Jackie and the past Jax arrive at Shang Tsung's courtyard to find Kronika's crown, which is contained in the Well of Souls under the courtyard. They approach the Well of Souls, only to be ambushed by Noob Saibot and his clones. They are then shocked after defeating him by the sudden arrival of present-day Jax, who reveals that he has sided with Kronika in an attempt to alter time so that his daughter will never become a soldier, what he've always wanted. After Cetron secures the crown, she and the present-day Jax then teleport back to Kronika's keep. Hanzo and Kuai Liang are at Charon's home, the Sea of Blood. He tells Kuai Liang that Charon is their best and only hope to get to Kronika's hourglass, and instructs the Grand Master to return to Earthrealm, and tell the others that they have found him. Hanzo rescues Charon from Devora's clutches, who was torturing Charon for refusing to assist Kronika, defeating her in combat. Scorpion later arrives to confront his present, living counterpart. Later, Devora kills another fan-favorite character, Scorpion. But we still have young Scorpion, so it's okay. And as per Hanzo's wishes, the past Scorpion returns to in his place to Raiden's base of operations to see the Fire Gardens rebuilt, realizing that his present self was right. He is attacked by a suspicious Sub-Zero managing to defeat the Lin Kuei Grandmaster, but is electrocuted by Raiden. Scorpion then defeats Raiden and tries to tell him that Charon is on his way with his fleet. Liu Kang tries to reason with Raiden, saying that Scorpion may be telling the truth. Raiden refuses to listen and attacks Scorpion using Shinnok's amulet. After Liu Kang tries to stop him, Raiden attacks him with the amulet as well, saying that their time has run out and he has got to save Earthrealm. After the battle, Liu Kang decides that the Revenants were actually right, and that Raiden cannot be trusted. Raiden replies that he does not need trust, but demands obedience, his eyes and lightning now glowing red. As Liu Kang prepares to use his fire power against him, Raiden comes to a realization. This has happened before. He begins seeing visions of himself and Liu Kang fighting each other in various places, and alternate timelines. The locations shown are the rooftop in Mortal Kombat 2011, the Pyramid of Argus in Mortal Kombat Armageddon, and supposedly Apocalypse in Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. Recoiling in horror, Raiden drops Shinnok's amulet. He realizes that the only reason why he and Liu Kang were fighting is because Kronika has always wanted it to happen. While Liu Kang and the others initially fail to understand what is happening, Raiden explains that Kronika has restarted time on multiple occasions, with each timeline pitting him and Liu Kang against each other, and Liu Kang dying in each battle. Just when Raiden assures that others that Kronika will no longer control them, time is frozen and everything else along with it. Kronika arrives and tells the Thunder God that the combined powers of both Raiden and Liu Kang pose a threat to her vision of the timeline, which is why she has always set them against each other. Raiden then threatens her that this timeline will end differently, but Kronika rejects his claims, stating that they have had the same conversation multiple times, but has never changed the outcome. She then challenges him to confront her one final time, but without Liu Kang by his side. As time resumes, Kronika takes Liu Kang to her isle, where his Revenant counterpart steals his soul to increase his own strength. After a bit of time, Charon's fleet, including all the good guys, essentially, head out and fight, and after a bit of fighting, Revenant Liu Kang has already absorbed the soul of his mortal counterpart, and goes after Charon's fleet to challenge Raiden. When the two confront each other, Liu Kang attacks Raiden, knocking him back. Raiden is shocked that Liu Kang has taking his own soul, to which Liu Kang replies that this was the lesson Raiden taught him, to fight his enemies by any means necessary. After defeating the Revenant, Raiden tells Liu Kang that he has overcome the darkness within himself, and that Liu Kang must do the same. While Liu Kang demands him that he has to kill him, Raiden says that he'd rather save him, and not repeat the same event all over again. He grabs and encircles Liu Kang in a lightning force field. During this, the mortal Liu Kang gets teleported out of Kronika's keep to the lightning force field. Shortly after, the force field dissipates. The result is a merged form of Raiden and Liu Kang. Fire God Liu Kang. Thanks to Raiden's and Liu Kang's combined powers, Earthrealmers and Outworlders realize that, this time, they might have a chance to beat Kronika. The armies of Earthrealm and Outworld begin their assault on Kronika's keep. Later, when things look dire for Kronika, Cetrion, her own daughter, has her own essence absorbed into Kronika, making her all-powerful. Kronika then reverses time to a primordial state of the universe, erasing everyone from existence. Fire God Liu Kang is left unaffected due to his godly status. The two eventually get into a final fight to determine the fate of the new era. So, there are multiple endings, but there is only one canon one. Now I'll just cover that one, which is in the Aftermath DLC, after Kronika's defeat. Fire God Liu Kang is about to restart and reshape history, with mortal Raiden's guidance. However, he is suddenly interrupted by the appearance of Shang Tsung, Fujin, and Nightwolf. Before the events of the Time Merger, they had been imprisoned by Kronika in the Void, unable to do anything but watch the events unfold. With Kronika's death, they were released from the Void, and have traveled through the Hourglass to stop Fire God Liu Kang from using it. Shang Tsung explains that without Kronika's crown, which was unknowingly destroyed by Fire God Liu Kang during the final battle, using the Hourglass would destroy all realms. Fire God Liu Kang suggests going back in time and defeat Kronika a different way, thereby gaining the crown. But Shang Tsung points out the plan would be too risky, it would not be guaranteed. He instead suggests that he be sent back into the past to regain the crown at his island. Mortal Raiden does not trust Shang Tsung, and although Fire God Liu Kang shares his sentiment, it is agreed to go with Shang Tsung's plan. Fujin and Nightwolf are sent along with Shang Tsung to watch over him for any signs of betrayal, which are inevitable. Shang Tsung, Fujin, and Nightwolf are brought back to the past, only to find themselves in Kitana's battle against Shao Kahn. Seeing that they cannot enlist their past allies with help without altering the current timeline, Shang Tsung suggests on reviving Sindel, since she plays no major part in the events to come. To do so, they must first acquire energy from Earth's Jinsei Chamber to heal her body, and use Outworld's Soul Chamber to free her from Quan Chi's influence. After acquiring the Jinsei needed to revive Sindel, on their trip to the Netherrealm, they are captured by Revenant Liu Kang and his minions, and taken to Shinnok's Bone Temple. After some fights, they take the unconscious body of Revenant Sindel with them, and Nightwolf and the others head back to Outworld for Shiva's aid. On the way to Outworld's Soul Chamber, Nightwolf, Shang Tsung, Fujin, and Shiva carry the coffin holding Sindel's Revenant self in it, with Shang Tsung disguising as a Shokan troop. With a few bumps along the way, they reach the Soul Chamber where they see Kotal Khan is healing himself due to the injuries he got from fighting Shao Kahn. Kotal leaves the soul well, gets held back by Shiva. Kitana attempts to stop the sorcerer before Shiva intervenes. With the essence of the Jinsei, Sindel was brought back to life. She then has a reunion for her daughter, Kitana, and tells her about her first death at the hands of Quan Chi, which up until now was not previously known. It was presumed suicide. Shang Tsung, Nightwolf, Sindel, and Fujin have arrived to his island. Nightwolf and Sindel remain on the top side to deal with Cetrion when she inevitably comes, while Shang Tsung and Fujin search for the crown in Goro's lair. While walking along the cavernous corridors of the lair, Fujin questions the sorcerer on how long he will betray them. They approach the Well of Souls, only to be confronted by Jax and Noob Saibot. Fujin defeats Noob and stops Shang Tsung from draining Jax's soul. After defeating Jax, Fujin managed to talk him into joining forces against Kronika. Outside, Sindel and Nightwolf are fighting Cetrion. After Cetrion subdues Nightwolf, he tries to sacrifice himself to defeat Cetrion, but Sindel intervenes and fights the Elder God. With Cetrion incapacitated, Shang Tsung, Fujin, and Jax emerge from Goro's lair, and Shang Tsung teleports Cetrion away. With the crown in hands, a special forces team led by Jackie and past Jax ambush the group, but present Jax manages to talk them down and explain the situation. Sindel has Shang Tsung send her back to Outworld, and Nightwolf decides to accompany the Briggs, while Fujin and Shang Tsung go to the Fire Gardens to deliver the crown to Raiden. At Kronika's hourglass, Cetrion informs her mother of her failure to retrieve the crown. Knowing this, Kronika decides that Shang Tsung is now a threat to her master plan, vowing to stop him. In the Fire Gardens, the past Scorpion surprises both Sub-Zero and past Liu Kang, who leaves to warn Raiden. Sub-Zero is distrustful of Scorpion, but before combat ensues, Shang Tsung now and Fujin emerge from a portal, requesting to talk to Raiden. Believing this to be Shang Tsung's trick, Sub-Zero freezes the sorcerer and asks for Scorpion's assistance in fighting Fujin, but both ninjas are defeated. After their defeat, Fujin frees Shang Tsung from being frozen with the help of his plasma crossbow. Raiden arrives with Liu Kang and questions Fujin on his allegiance with Shang Tsung. They present the crown and voice their plan of using it to defeat Kronika. But Raiden, under Shinnok's amulet's influence, refuses to believe the sorcerer and attacks him. He tries to attack Liu Kang as well, but Fujin intervenes and defeats him. Regretful, Raiden puts down the amulet and realizes that he have led himself to become a slave to anger with Shinnok's amulet. So, he decides he will not use it anymore and to listen. The warriors regroup and Fujin explains how Raiden turns Liu Kang into a fire god. But before he could explain more, Kronika teleports to the Fire Gardens and freezes the warriors in time, sparing only Raiden, Shang Tsung, and Fujin. Kronika confronts Shang Tsung and Fujin about her defeat, and reveals that the crown was Shang Tsung's design, before warning that he will eventually betray them. Raiden states that she will be finished, and if Shang Tsung betrays them, they will have to finish him too. They attack Kronika, but she freezes Raiden and Shang Tsung in time. She then creates a sandstorm, which will end their existence. However, Fujin puts the crown on before he is frozen as well, and unfreezes Raiden and Shang Tsung, who both helped him in sending Kronika away. The other warriors are unfrozen and prepare for the upcoming battle at Kronika's Isle. In the Outworld Castle, Sindel secretly spoke with Shang Tsung on how Katana was a fool for working alongside with Raiden. When Shao Kahn was being tortured by two Shokans, later Sindel killed them to rescue Shao Kahn. The two planned on dethroning Katana. As Shiva overheard the conversation, the two clashed, leading to Shiva's defeat. More Shokans arrived and discovered Shiva's unconscious body. Sindel pins the blame on Katana, leading the Shokans to join her against Katana to avenge Shiva. Shao Kahn and Sindel went on a mission to intervene in the battle between Raiden and Kronika's forces, to seize the Hourglass for themselves. They defeated Sonya, Cassie, and passed Johnny, seizing their ships that they were planning to take across the Sea of Blood. Dumping cargo to increase their speed, they caught up to Katana Khan's ship. While Katana lost contact with the Shokan, Commander Cage, and the Special Forces, Kung Lao suspected Sindel's betrayal, but Katana denied it. Katana uses her scope to check the incoming fleet, only to discover Sindel's betrayal. In the keep, Kronika manipulates all Outworlders to fight against each other with the Hourglass. After a long fight and a lot of brutality, Katana pleads with her mother to stop the chaos, questioning what spell Shao Kahn had used on her. In reality, in a really strange rewrite of the character, Sindel was never bewitched. She willingly married Shao Kahn. She explained why she betrayed Jared and to strengthen her bond with Shao Kahn. She helped him kill her husband. Much to Katana's disgust, she clashes with her mother and is defeated. Shao Kahn then fights Liu Kang and defeats him. He and Sindel then lie to all of Katana's soldiers, all texting Tarkatans, by saying that Katana is the traitor and a bad leader. With all of her soldiers betraying her, the injured Katana reaches for the injured Liu Kang's hand, only to be crushed by Shao Kahn. And Sindel wants Katana to be put in chains to suffer the anguish of defeat, and Shao Kahn summons his hammer with an evil grin. Later, as Sindel and Shao lead the charge against Earthrealm's forces, Raiden tells Fujin that he needs to use the crown against Shao Kahn and Sindel. Fujin gives Raiden the crown, only to find out that it was Shang Tsung who was impersonating Raiden to get the crown from Fujin. When Raiden discovered that Shang Tsung deceived them the whole time by freeing Shao Kahn, Shang Tsung then wears the crown at the right moment to revitalize and superpower himself, claiming to be as equal as Kronika herself. Fujin realizes that this has all been Shang Tsung's endgame. From the moment he was trapped in the time void, as Shang Tsung wields the crown, he easily overpowers Raiden, Jax, and Fujin. Later, Nightwolf faces Shang Tsung after realizing he had deceived the group in taking the crown. Nightwolf is then defeated and knocked out. As Shang Tsung is about to steal Nightwolf's soul, Raiden and Fujin intervene. Shang Tsung defeats them and then drains the powers from the two, causing their bodies to dry out. Shang Tsung then tells Shao Kahn and Sindel to keep the demigods alive, while keeping them unaware of his plan to drain their powers for himself. Later on, Shao Kahn and Sindel burst into the hourglass. Cetrion allowed Kronika to absorb her essence in an attempt to strengthen her mother, and the remaining revenants so they could defend the hourglass. The revenants Katana, Kung Lao, and Jade tried to stop them, but all three of them were easily overpowered and killed. Shang Tsung weakens Kronika, and only then betrays and defeats Shao Kahn and Sindel, telling them that killing Kronika is his destiny. After their defeat, he then tells them that his service to them is over, and that their service to him begins. Shang Tsung then takes their souls, leaving them as withered husks. Kronika recovers and then tells them that there is no one left for him to betray. He then confronts her and offers her to either serve him in his new era or be wiped from history. Kronika refuses to submit, forcing Shang Tsung to fight her. After defeating Kronika, Shang Tsung absorbs her soul, causing her to dissolve into sand. In one of my favorite twists in Mortal Kombat, as Shang Tsung prepares to use the hourglass, Fire God Liu Kang, aware of Shang Tsung's true intentions, comes from the dawn of time and confronts him. Shang Tsung realizes Liu Kang had allowed him to progress as he did for the latter to claim the crown, at the cost of losing his friends. The sorcerer compliments the Fire God's deviousness, and the two eventually decide to sell it all in a final fight, with Raiden's sacrifice and the creation of the Fire God inside Liu Kang to defeat Kronika, before sending Shang Tsung back in time to steal the crown before Kronika sent Cetrion, and Kronika now defeated, and killed when her soul was absorbed into him. Their whole rivalry was indeed, and finally come, full circle. Now this is where it gets a little shaky, because depending on the outcome of the fight between Shang Tsung and Fire God Liu Kang, two different scenarios will play. For Fire God Liu Kang's, which is the canon ending, by the way, so this is actually what is true for MK1. Liu Kang uses the power of the hourglass to erase Shang Tsung from existence. He then takes Kronika's crown from Shang Tsung, who slowly vanishes into sand. Once he puts on the crown, Liu Kang uses the hourglass to create a new era, where he meets his ancestor, the Great Kung Lao. For Shang Tsung's ending, which is non-canon, Shang Tsung absorbs Fire God Liu Kang's soul, acquiring all his powers in the process. Shang Tsung then uses the hourglass to conquer all realms under his influence, with Raiden and Fujin becoming his minions. It's very stereotypical, full-on just evil bad guy ending, but it's kind of fun and I like it, especially for a non-canon ending. So, that's about it. I hope you all enjoyed. I am aware that this is not the most in-depth or maybe even honestly good recapping of the story, but this is one of my first times doing this more long-form video story recap type of video, and I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all learned something. I just wanted to do this for the people who are excited for MK1 but may not have played one of the past 3 games of this storyline, because yes, while this is a reboot of the series and the story, it is bound to still have a lot of references and nods to the past games, especially because Liu Kang was still aware of all the past of those games. So I do apologize for skipping over MKX much, but this video already took me forever, and MKX, I just truly do believe that it's not super important, especially all the other two. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. It would mean so much to drop a like, subscribe especially. I have plenty of videos for Mortal Kombat coming out, and uploading a vlog very soon for my Mexico trip, so I think that'd be really fun to watch if you all want to. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Be good people.